What is up, bros? Josh here. In today's video, we're bringing you a pretty special game we had in the Ooster. I'm just going to call it the Ooster throughout this entire video, and that's normally what I call it on stream, just because I don't want to slaughter the name and have the name experts correct me every time I say it. I try to get as many right as I can, but like, I mean, come on. When you get something like the Ooster, there's only so much you can do. But we have been grinding up this line on all of this live on twitch.tv/Mujash. Come check us out when we stream. And really been enjoying the Pan-European Destroyer line. I've always said that I will give credit where credit is due. And this is one of the reasons why I really enjoy this ship right here. I will always give credit to Wargaming when they do something unique and special. And I really do think they found that in the Pan-European line. And one of the reasons why I love this ship and love this line is exactly what I'm doing right here. Now you may see that my AA is fairly strong. This is against a tier 8 CV. We're going against a Lexington, so it's definitely not tier 10 planes, but we are definitely doing some decent damage. You may ask what my captain build is and what my modules are. We are using the 3 million credit AA boost, so that's going to give us a little bit more AA, plus the extra explosions from the flak, as well as we are using BFT, and that is it for actual AA. So if you are wondering what my setup is, that is basically it. Just BFT, the captain skill, and the 3 million bonus module. So I'm not using the torpedo one, I'm not using the gun ones. Now I do sometimes think about using the torpedo ones. Gun ones I think are fine on this ship. They shoot fast enough. I don't think you'd really get too much extra out of that. But the AA, this is a ship, especially as a destroyer, if you've ever played DD, and it's kind of funny, you can tell from me switching up the torpedo setup. This is the first game I played in the Ooster, and I made this CV really kind of despise this game, and this CV got pretty annoyed with me, as you can tell kind of later in the game, as he kind of almost kind of goes at me at purpose. But I kind of weighed what I went with this ship as a do I want to go for torps? Do I want to go for guns? What do I want to do? And I've decided that personally, I find this to be so much fun. And this kind of brings back, if you have been an old school DD player, it brings back the ability to be able to shoot down planes. That's one thing you really start seeing in the tier 9. Now the Erlin, the tier 8, you did see the occasional situation where you could shoot down some planes, some of even the lower tier ones. The Pan-European destroyer line, for what they are, is actually decent. I will at least give that. But when you get into tier 9 and tier 10, they are very, very good. But one of the big downsides, as you see right here, even though I have this extremely high AA and we're doing a really good job, we have 24 planes already in the first 3.5 minutes. Probably would have been down a massive amount of life if it weren't for this ship. But I'm just so limited on what I can actually do here. You know, only being able to do so much. My torps are on reload. I'm not hitting any torps. My guns, you know, they only have so long of a range, but if I fire, then there's too many ships. I'm trying to figure out where kind of everything is, and I'm really kind of limited on how much I can do. That is one thing you definitely notice when you are playing the Pan-European line, although I really enjoy these ships, and I enjoy the ability for it to do what it can do. You do get scenarios like this where you really can't do too much, but you see me trying to get into a position where I can maybe make a little bit more out of my ability to shoot down planes. I'm trying to kind of get on this back line, get some torps on this Iowa that are now back up as we're starting to lose some of our low tier ships, and I'm going to slowly start moving forward. One thing I did notice, though, is this is a 3DD. This is actually a pretty good setup for us. One thing is, we are top tier. That never hurts. There is a CV, which this is like the one destroyer. I mean, there's technically a few. This is like the one line where you actually want planes. You actually want to go against a CV. That doesn't tend to happen. Usually if you're going, let's say, even like a Fletcher or a Jutland, you're like, oh, planes, all right, I have to deal with that. Okay, this kind of stinks. But with this, you're like, bring them on. You almost want, and especially when it's tier 8, you almost kind of want planes to be there. And also, we're able to get some easy kills in here. So I'm trying to chill by this Colorado, though this Colorado is going to eat all these water torps right there. Nothing we can really do about that, but hey, he's going in, and we're going to farm this Camelus Iowa as we kill that destroyer. So we are sitting pretty good. Also, we're watching these ships go up. I love it when the red ships go up the 9 line. It's amazing. I'm trying to protect this Colorado as much as I can. That's one thing too, is you kind of learn to hang out and wait with the AA, surprise the CV, and then pop a few planes out of the sky. Try to do what I could for that Colorado, but he is definitely going to lose some planes in the process. And actually, I think he tries to get this Miyoko here, but we are going to shoot down a couple more, and we actually saved the Miyoko from taking some damage. Again, that's one of the highlights of this ship, and that is why I take that 3 million, module instead of the guns or the torps. I do take the AA because that to me is worth it. Being able to shoot down those planes is worth it. Also, pretty funny what is about to happen right here. We take down the Iowa, which is nice. That is their top tier battleship. The Ashitaka is kind of moving up, and the Azuma is moving up too. And I'm like, you know what? I'll give one each. I'm not quite sure where this Ashitaka is going to move. You can never trust the 9-line guys, but we'll put 1-on-1 and just see what they can do. Again, just kind of limited on where I can go. We're making some progress towards these other ships. The CV is doing pretty good. He's striking the right stuff, so I'm trying to play it correctly. But again, anything I can do to shoot down some planes, I will. Also, you may have asked, like, why am I maybe holding on to my AA consumables? I'm holding on because I'm seeing how this guy is dropping. He seems to be knowing what he's doing. So I'm holding on to my actual AA consumable for as long as I can. Big shout out to the schooner that's in this game who just took down the Friesland. He is one of the... me and him at the end of this game kind of work together. Also, shout out to the Azuma who just sailed in a perfectly straight line. That's the 9 and 10 line players for you right there. But we did have a slow start. You tend to have a slow start when you are playing pan-European destroyers. It is the downside of these. As I kind of always say, this ship, this line, in my opinion, isn't really like a carry line. And what I mean by that, and I remember I brought that up on the last stream, is this... I wouldn't consider the Ooster a carry ship. And what I mean by that is I wouldn't consider it like, I would say the Jutland, or even a little bit more like the Fletcher is a little bit more of a carry ship, because there are so many situations where I could do tons of damage on something, but I just can't because I don't have smoke. Now, I'm not saying that you can have a huge impact and you can actually carry games. There are many games, and maybe even do another video on one of them, that we did carry in this ship. But there are so many times, especially just even that Iowa that's right there, where I could have easily farmed big damage. I'd probably be over easily 100k, and we would be in a much better spot. I'd probably have a cap already, but one of the things that that doesn't have is its ability to, as you can see already, is we checked out 29 planes, and that CV is kind of limited on what he can do against me. Now, that's one thing too, especially going against tier 8 planes. If you are healthy, if you are actually healthy late game against the CV, you will see what he is unable to do. And I won't say that kind of a decked out Ooster is immune to planes, but you are going to be painful for that CV to drop on, and it makes it very tough. So he is basically going to be stuck to just purely spotting you, hoping things go. And one thing I did see, as that guy says in chat, is look at all those ships that died within that small little area. 4 ships right there. You don't really see that too often. But we are slowly taking this map back. The Colorado did get the cap. The Ashitaka is hanging there as well. The Azuma and the Iowa on our team are kind of fighting. And it's time for me to kind of get in there. We have some ships that are fairly low. Obviously, the Lexington is going to die. But look at the DD core that we have here. We're all still alive. Their DDs are all dead. And we have the R2 set going down, capping out of the cap. We're doing so good, even though we don't really have kind of the big capital ships. But really, if you're able to kind of just work a little bit, that's one thing that's quite strong with these ships, is having these fast reloading torps, and they're also going away from the caps. So one thing I did notice, and if you are, I would say maybe a little bit more of a skilled player, it's going to be hard to really use this, is the very short range on its guns on this ship. Now, it's actually, I thought about maybe playing a different build with this ship on stream, and that would be like a more gun-focused build, where maybe I take AFT or take the range, and I'm able to really kind of use its guns just a tad more. I thought about maybe doing that because the range is so short on these, but you can really kind of use that to your advantage, because what's going to end up happening is people aren't or people aren't going to really push into a destroyer. Now I have the torps that have some decent range, but also one thing I can do is use the gun range as I get right about to the range, unload, stay about that, and actually dip out and really kind of abuse that a little bit. That is something that I'm debating making a build and maybe doing a video on. I gotta test it out. I am really enjoying being able to be an AA ship. That is maybe one of my favorite things. It's I was talking to another person about this, that one of my favorite things, I think one of the best feelings in this game is when you are just shooting down planes. I don't know why. Maybe that's just my inner DD main, but that is one of my favorite feelings in this game. Also, this is what happens when, I don't know, I've always kind of made these jokes, when some people just need to win harder. And what I mean by that is you will see our Alaska, who is doing perfectly fine here. Perfectly fine, doesn't need to get close at all, and he is going to absolutely throw away his ship. Absolutely throw away his ship. And so one thing we're going to do is we're going to throw those torps on the Vladi, keep firing. But I didn't want this Ashitaka to get this cap for free, at least. He is going to be taking some damage. I think we get him once with that torp, so he is flooding, but again, it is a Russian battleship, so he's going to get that repair fairly quickly. But I was hoping maybe our Alaska could kind of just trade a little bit, but the CV is going to be able to pick him out. And as you see, the Skona, who actually played really well this game. Again, a big shout out to that Skona who is on my team. Bottom tiered and playing like a boss. Played really well, and we gave him a compliment after the game. Just staying alive, and as you see, he is completely rotated north. And is helping take down this. And as you see me, the Iowa is kind of dealing with the Ashitaka, and I am going to help keep this destroyer alive. As you see me going right here, I now pop my AA. Again, that's what I was kind of holding for. If I can keep that destroyer alive, then we are going to do much better. Down he goes, so we are good. If I can keep that destroyer alive, if I can keep myself alive, and we keep these 2-3 ships away from caps, we're going to be doing really good. Also, the Ashitaka has kind of bounced back and forth between the other line. I figured the Iowa kind of has that, so I can go against it. And I think I even say, can the CV focus on the other ship? But our CV even started going, I think I say it right here, if he can focus on the Ashitaka. Yeah, because we have these caps. But he just goes boss mode and starts destroying the Surrey, so we will definitely take that. Also, I'm going to throw some torps in there because I do just barely have the range. Again, the signature of these ships is that its ability to, one, you have pretty fast firing guns that are going to have decent alpha. You have fast reloading torps, but low alpha on the torps. And then, again, no smoke, but you have some pretty damn good AA. And here we go, trying to keep my little destroyer friends safe. Doing what I can, taking out a couple, but again, they can only do so much. But one thing you can always do is exactly what's going on here, and that is continuing to take out planes after planes after planes. When you he's got the one drop in, he dropped a few, we're up to 40 plane kills already. But that is something that you should get in the habit of, is punishing CVs if you can. If you because they're going to be dropping those planes in, and then they're going to be sending in the reset. He's going to try to save as many planes as he can, but if you can knock out a couple planes extra, he's going to start feeling it. It's going to start hurting him late game, which is exactly the situation we're in right now. A good CV can really kind of carry a game, but if they're running out of planes late game, there you go. And now and as now their Ashitaka over there is getting beat up on. I waited for the Surrey to shoot, and we are just going to work that. Even though the Surrey is going to hit me or this other destroyer fairly hard, there's not much he can really do at this point. We're going to be able to bust through 2,000 or 3,000 damage, 2,000 or 3,000 life in no time. And this is where you feel that kind of early or the kind of late game attrition that we've been having. And I think he ends up actually hitting me with the torp here, but again, we have a heal, so it's not really that bad. Does he hit me with this torp? I think he does. Which is... Oh no, we just barely miss it. But this is exactly what I'm talking about, is it's time to start racking up some XP, up to 46 plane kills. Really been enjoying this ship. And again, this is kind of the reason why I just really picked the AA module over the torpedo as well as the guns. I think I will end up making a little bit of a unique build where it's a bit more guns. I want to see if it's even possible. Not having smoke might make it a little tough, but this is going to be us, and really I have been enjoying this. I've been enjoying going down this line. I have always said, though, I really don't recommend the Pan-European line as a starter destroyer line by any means. One thing I'm trying to do right here is see if I can, if I'm going to get spotted by those planes, because if I'm spotted, then I can start fighting those, because we know how the islands kind of work these days. But he's pushing away from the Iowa. He's going to rotate, and then what does that do? It rotates right into my AA bubble. So instantly, there we go, popping it up, and we're going to start shredding some planes. And the CV kind of started, I bet he got a little mad at us as the game went on, because we started to just shred some of his planes. You know, he's lost 47 planes to us so far as a DD. Feels great, by the way. And we're gonna get in here, get a little bit of XP as well. But he started to get a little mad. Also, the Ashitaka coming in late, 16 minutes. 16 minutes in, finally getting some shots off. And yeah, but this is a line that I have really been enjoying. I do not recommend it for new players, because just it's very simple why I don't recommend it to new players, and that is it's a lack of smoke. If you are a new player, and if the line doesn't really have smoke or is extremely stealthy, like kind of the IGM Torp line, I don't recommend it for new players. But if you are kind of a seasoned player, or you've played a few destroyer lines, and you are looking for something that is a lot of fun and very unique, and you know, kind of tough to play, challenging but yet rewarding, I highly recommend this. And I think I've said that for literally like every video I've done on the Pan-European line is I recommend this line. Check it out if you've played it before. So I will continue to say that as we work through the Ooster. I've even started taking off flags of the Ooster, as well as using not as good camo. That was our first game, by the way. That's why those bonuses are so big. We use a lot of flags on that, and a good camo on that. So that's why that XP and everything is so good. As you see, we got basically whatever the clear sky is now Confederate. We got Dev Strike as well. A pretty decent damage, 3 kills, but 50 planes. Feels good to get 50 plane kills, but really enjoying this line. I've even started to take some, as I said, some flags off and using not as good camos, still good camos, but not as good camos, because this isn't really a grind, this ship. Tier 9 has really good matchmaking in my opinion, and I've been enjoying this ship, so I might as well not rush through it as fast as possible. But let me know in the comments below if you have played the Pan-European Destroyer line, what tier you are, and if you have played the Ooster, and if you like it, and if you have joined me in the shredding of planes. Let me know if you've done that. But anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.